Mummies. They're pretty shit. But you know what isn't shit? The Mummy. Oh wait, no, not that one. That is shite. No, I meant this Mummy, you know, the film that was basically Indiana Jones but with a mummy and a Brendan Fraser. Remember him? He's from The Mummy and other things. Yeah, that's right, in this episode of Film Facts we're going to be heading back to the year 1999. So let's not waste any more time and get stuck in, because if you had questions like how did Brendan Fraser nearly die making this movie? How did the entire cast and crew nearly die making this movie? And how did I nearly die making this video? I didn't. I'm still alive, I think. Then we got the answers for you. Oh, would you look at that? It's number 1. So The Mummy is a 1999 action-adventure film with a touch of horror thrown in because, you know, mummy. Written and directed by Stephen Sommers, who has directed such films as Van Helsing and G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra Kai or something. It is technically a loose remake on the 1932 film of the same name and stars Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, John Hannah, Kevin J. O'Connor and Arnold Vosloo as the title character, the Mummy, from the film The Mummy. The film follows Rick O'Connell as he travels to the City of the Dead with a librarian and her brother, where they accidentally awaken a bloody mummy from the film The Mummy. Number 2. In 1992, producers James Jacks and Sean Daniel decided they wanted to create an updated version of The Mummy for the 90s. Universal Studios gave the go-ahead as long as they kept the budget under $10 million. The producers originally turned to horror writer and filmmaker Clive Barker, who envisioned a much darker, more violent and sexualized version of the film than what we'd originally got. Barker, however, eventually lost interest, and so the producers turned to Joe Dante of Gremlins fame, who wanted to bring on actor Daniel Day-Lewis as a brooding mummy. The film would be set in modern times, or you know, modern times for the 90s anyway. And some of the story elements in Joe Dante's version actually made the transition to the final movie, such as the flesh-eating scarabs. Ugh. However, Dante's version eventually fell through, so next up to pitch an idea for this film was the only man that had bigger glasses than Scorsese, George A. Romero. Romero had a zombie-style horror film in mind for The Mummy. What a shocker. Although, I guess that makes sense. I mean, that's basically what a mummy is. It's a zombie with toilet paper on it. Eventually, Stephen Sommers contacted the producers with a pitch for the film that would be an Indiana Jones type movie, with the mummy being the main antagonist. Ooh, it's number 3. So Brendan Fraser plays the lead character of Rick O'Connell, your classic swashbuckling American hero, plus idiot. But Fraser wasn't the first choice for this role. Others considered to play Rick O'Connell included Tom Cruise, who would go on to play the lead role in the reboot, which definitely turned out well, and it wasn't a horrible experience to watch.
No!
Others up for the role were Brad Pitt, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. One of the reasons why Brendan Fraser won the role was due to the success of George of the Jungle, if you can remember that film. Oh, number 4. Shooting this film by all accounts was an adventure itself. Filming took place in several locations including Morocco, the Sahara Desert and the UK. The crew could not film in Egypt, however, due to the unstable political conditions at that time. To avoid dehydration in the Sahara Desert, the cast and crew were required to drink a drink that was specifically created by the production's medical team every 2 hours. Sandstorms were a daily inconvenience, and the cast and crew were constantly assaulted by snakes, spiders and scorpions. The big 3 S's. Which caused several crew members to be airlifted out of location after having been bit or stung. Brendan Fraser actually nearly died during the scene in which his character was hung. Fraser himself was actually hung and even stopped breathing, causing the crew to quickly resuscitate him.
His neck did not break!
I got 5 on it. Oh, copyright strike. $15 million was spent on the special effects for this film, which was provided by Industrial Light and Magic. The filmmakers wanted a new look for the Mummy to avoid comparisons to past movies. Early motion capture technology, reference photography of actor Arnold Vosloo, and live action shots were used to create a realistic looking mummy. Oh, don't believe it, it's number 6. Actor and comedian Ahmed Ghailani makes an appearance in this film. During his death scene, in which a scarab crawls under his skin, Ahmed Ghailani chose not to wear underwear. For some reason. I don't know why. Maybe he needed to get some air down to his Jaleelis. As a result, his Jaleelis kept falling out of his pants during several takes. This led to the editor having to cut around the unintentional nudity as much as possible. However, apparently if you really want to see some Ahmed man parts, they still appear in a few frames during that scene. What a fact for you, eh? I'm literally sat here talking about Ahmed Jaleeli's balls. Number 7, baby. Number 7. The mummy in the film goes by the name Imhotep. Imhotep in real life was the name of the architect who developed the first pyramids in ancient Egypt, most notably the Pyramid of Djoser around 2600 BC. Because of his impressive ability in architecture, it was said that Imhotep was descended from the gods. His name means one who comes in peace, which is ironic, as he's portrayed as a violent, bloody lunatic in this film. You wanna know a secret? It's number 8. The film went on to receive mixed reviews, but did well enough at the box office to grant it several sequels and many spin-offs. One of them included a Universal theme park ride that opened in 2004, based on The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. The ride was called Revenge of the Mummy and was apparently so popular that lines would stretch into the main park, with riders waiting for hours. To alleviate the stress of waiting, fans of the films would loudly repeat the Imhotep chant from the first movie, as chanted by the hypnotized townspeople. Good heavens, number 9. The Mummy had 2 official sequels that would follow: The Mummy Returns, released in 2001, and The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, released in 2008. A series of spin-off films were also released under the name The Scorpion King, and, well, they're pretty much all shite. I say, old chap, it's number 10. Did you know there was going to be a 4th Brendan Fraser mummy film planned? You didn't? Well, there was. This 4th sequel was rumoured to have been titled The Mummy: Rise of the Aztek. However, this project obviously fell through, as Universal had their eyes on the Marvel Cinematic Universe and how well that format seemed to be doing. So with the aim of creating their own cinematic universe using their Universal monster characters, they decided to reboot the Mummy franchise and have it be the first film in this new franchise. I wonder how well that went. Well, there you go, 10 facts about The Mummy, 1999 edition, baby. If you like this, then why not check out our other film facts videos. They cover both film and TV, and of course a like on this video really does help us out a lot. And I'm sure we'll be taking a look at this film's sequels in the future, so if you don't want to miss that or miss out on anything else on this channel, then please do consider subscribing and hitting the bell thingy to stay notified. But thanks for watching, guys.